and they represent all the principal zones of information. The MB, of course, is at the base, is the set at it.
All right.
Objectives to it already. All right, so the major headline: four governors are doing everything to protect.
Okay, you can see.
I'll start with
I'm just going to open an existing design. Okay.
That's the only way they can protect themselves from the banditry and the terrorists.
We'll go on this.
They have also asked the data security agents to shoot on sight with the cyclists, because that was part of the state. Said that shoot motorcycles on site to remind them that the ban commercial use of motorcycles in the state is still in effect.
Okay. So I have an existing design here. So the next thing I will do is to export it to drawings and reports. I'll go to Protadetail. I'll close. Protadetail. Okay. In this, okay. Share screen. Okay. So I opened a particular existing design that I have done. You can generate your detailed drawing by simply clicking on auto generate details. You can also generate your detailed drawing by start by creating a new drawing. If you click on this, that means you have to manually click on each of those structural members in order for it to appear on your window. Okay. So if I click on auto generate detail, for example, and then I click on okay, now you can see it's giving me some options here. Now this is my detail. I have my story 0. This is ST0, which means the foundation level. The ST1 means the ground floor. The ST2 actually means your first floor. Okay, so you can see here under this, everything here is checked. Okay, so if I click on draw, nothing is actually going to appear because I have unchecked everything here. So let's click on this. You can see you should select at least one story. So we cannot generate a detailed drawing when all of that is unchecked. And then when all is checked, that means it's going to generate the detailed drawing for me for this entire design. Okay. And then if you come down here, you can see your form plan. That should be your layout. Okay. like your foundation layout, your column layout, okay? It's going to give you all of that from the form plan. And then when you come to your column application, column elevation, column schedule, all of these are definitely going to be generated for you in the detailing. Now, if you look at this option 1, we have 3 different options here. We have option 1, we have option 2, we have option 3. Okay, in my option 1, you can see the X top bars. I want it to show. You can see here written show rebars. Here it is written show dimensions. Show rebars, that is the reinforcement bars that we want to, that we will actually want the software to actually show us, for the software to actually display on our detailing. Okay, those are the show rebars. Okay, so we want this software to actually show all of these reinforcement bars, okay, in our detailed drawing. So that is why I'm going to leave all of them checked. Okay, you can see slab hole / drop rebars. Okay, so there is no hole in this our slab. We don't have any opening in this slab, so I'm going to leave it unchecked. Draw similar separately. Okay, so when you have a structural member that is actually similar, okay, like I told you, just like when you have in your bar mark, where you have the same or a similar kind of bar mark tends to, or a similar reinforcement, when the reinforcement are the same in shape, in size, in length, when you are doing your schedule, it will actually give you the same bar mark. Okay, the same thing goes for your structural member. There are times you have similar beams. There are times you have similar slabs. There are times you have similar columns. Okay, so the loadings coming on that column is the same. Okay, and then the size of that column there is the same, and they are probably around the same position. So in that case, those structural member will most likely be the same. Okay, I have talked very deep on that in my RCD 2000 software, because that one is much more manual than what we are doing in Protastructure and Protadetail. Okay, slab hole / drop rebars. Okay, so all of these are checked. So I want this software to actually give me you know, it's going to draw all the structural members that are similar separate. So they are actually going, instead of giving me a repeated number of structural members that are actually the same. Okay, so column dimension is unchecked. I can check that. Well, here I don't have a shear wall in this particular design I did, so I'm going to leave it unchecked. Form plan side dimension, I can check that if I also want that to check. Now you can see display column loads. Okay, you can decide to include that in your detailing. So I can include the column load, okay, if I want it to actually display in my detailed drawing. So you can check that as well. And then you can click on this load to select the kind of load you want your detailing to actually show. So we have the nodal load, we have the temperature load, we have the axial load. For column, so this axial load, let's say I'm going to include my axial load on this. So you can see there is another drop down here where you can actually select the loading combination that you may want. Okay, so let's say I select all of this and then I'll click on OK. And then here I'll also click on OK. Okay, but there is no need for you to include your column load on your detailed drawing. Actually, there's no need, but I'm showing you for the sake of practice. Okay, then insert to sheets. You can insert your drawings to sheets, whereby all of your drawings are actually going to be arranged in a sheet. Okay, that is in your title block. Automatically the software will arrange all of that in that place. Okay, so and then you can specify the scale, and then you can change the size of paper that you want to actually specify, knowing fully that you can print your drawings directly from Structure in your Protadetail without even taking them to AutoCAD, like we have explained from the very beginning of this training. So if I click on A3, that is the size of paper, we have different sizes of paper. We have A0, A1, A2, A3, A4. Okay. So we have different sizes of papers. So I'm going to be using my A3. In Nigeria, it's common to use A3 size of paper for your detailed drawings. Okay. So I'll click on OK here, and then generate sheet list. Okay. So I'm going to click on that list to generate my sheet list. Okay. Let me come back here. Show number of bars in bar label, print alternative layer information. You can see all of this. You can include any of this in order for them to reflect in your detailed drawing. Display pile numbers. There is no pile in this my design. So slab reverse deflections, draw sheets members number. I'm going to leave all of this as it is. Going to option 3, mark topmost columns. Okay, so you can mark topmost columns. Okay, I think there will be no need for this. So I'm just going to click on draw, and then this thing is going to draw and give me all of the sheets here. But before then, if you come down to settings here and you come under option, if I come to settings, I come to option, I can go to project preference. Okay, so you can see all the informations that are here. I imputed all of this the last time on our training here. So let's say this is in June. In June, let's say in the month of June. Sorry, let me come back to June 27. Yeah. So let's say this design is on the 27th of June 2022. Project address, I can type in a number, the project address, let's say number 13, Kamuru Close. Kampala, West Kaduna. Okay. So if you can remember, calculated by, you can type in the name, controlled by, drawn by, you can type in all of these informations there. Okay. So here, let's say Joseph Matthew is the client. Okay. Good. Then I click on OK, and then I'll click on anywhere around my screen. Now you can see it's actually generating the detailed drawing plus my sheets, drawing sheets, what they call title block. You can see all of that is included in the detailing. But you can see based on the scale I used, the drawing is or the sheet is actually looking a bit smaller than the size of the drawing. So I can actually adjust that based on that scale. So you can see what I have here, but not all is actually inserted into the sheet. Okay, so but you can see that the information is here, but it's looking very rough because of the loadings that I actually included in the informations. I actually asked the software to include all of these my loads. So these are all the axial load, all the load combinations on the columns. Okay, so these are the informations that are appearing here. So I can decide to take that off. So all I need to do is just to erase all of these, and then I'll click on enter. So I'll come back to, let's say I want to print, I want to show or display, I want this software to actually show me just some of the structural members. So let's say for my foundation here, if I want to draw my foundation, you can see it can also bring me back here where I will just insert. I always like to do it this way. It's easier to arrange the job this way instead of auto generating all of the structural members in the window. Okay, so in this way it helps me to have control over each structural member and arrange them properly in the Protadetail before sending them for printing. Okay, so for my foundation here, I can change, let's say I change this scale to this is the XF here. Okay, let's say I change this scale to 1:85. Okay, click on draw, click. Okay, so form plan has been generated. You can see it inside here, but take note, you can see I did not take off those axial loads, so they are still very much showing here in the form plan. So I'm going to take that off. All I need to do, I can just erase this, or I can just do my Control Z and it's going to go off. Okay, and then I'll click on draw. This time around, my column loads, I'm going to take it off, and then I'll make sure I am selecting my A3 size of paper. So but you can see the sheet name, you can decide to give it name. Okay, so you must not use the default name that the software will generate for you. Okay, so I can decide to name this sheet foundation layout, or sorry, let's say slab/beam layout. Okay, let's just name it layout. So you can see the prefix here is FP. That's a foundation plan. So all right, let me just leave it as it is in default. So what that means is you can change this information, please, to suit whatever way you actually like to represent your detailed drawings. Okay, so if I click on draw, and I'll click anywhere around my window, then I'll close this. So you can see that those loadings are actually off. They are no longer showing in this detailed drawing anymore. So but then if you look at this very well, you discover that sorry, sometimes you have to actually manually move this because it may not come well arranged for you. And then you can as well increase the size of this just in case you want it to look a bit much more bigger than how it is right now. So I can decide to print this as it is, but let's say I don't want this way. I want to blow this a bit to look a bit bigger than this. So I can use Ctrl Z, and then I'll come to my foundation plan and click on draw here, and then I will reduce this scale 1:, I want to make it a bit bigger. So let's say 1:75. Let me try 75 and see how it's going to look like. So I think it's covering more this time around compared to the first time. So I can just highlight these, and then I'll type M and I'll click, and then I'll move this file. So another thing, I can decide not to show this in this my detailed drawing. Okay, so if I don't want this to display, all I need to do is just to, let me Ctrl Z this time around. I'll come here and I'll click on draw. So you can see here I have insert quantity table. I may take that off, and I'll also take out insert model information. Let me leave insert model information, and then I'll take this out. Generate sheet list, I'll take it out, and then I'll click on draw. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I'm with you. Yes. Of course. I demonstrated it last week now. All right. Yeah, I'm with you. It's all right. Yeah. So if I click on draw, search sheet model. Okay. Okay, so you can see that has actually gone off. So to your question, how to make this a bit smaller or bigger to accommodate the drawing. This is something you can actually, okay, let me do a perfect example of what I'm talking about. So if I want to rescale this sheet, I can rescale it to whatever. Let's see. Let me highlight first. Let's see. Enter. Let me make it a bit smaller. 0.75. So you can see it has reduced in size. M, enter. Okay. Highlight, and I'll move. So I just made this a bit smaller. SC. Let me highlight it first. SC, enter. So I'll make it smaller, 0.5. 0.5 means half of this. So I have just made it smaller. So if I try to move this one now, you can see that this sheet cannot really accommodate this. Okay, it cannot accommodate this. So in a case whereby you are having your sheets looking very smaller, whereby you don't want to use the scale to make the drawing fit in better, you can just rescale the sheet. So there are so many ways in order for you that you can do whatever to achieve whatever you want to achieve. Okay, so there are many ways to do that. So this is one of the ways. It's just for you to, you can as well just rescale this. So let me rescale this. Sorry, let me take this back. So if I highlight this and I type SC to rescale, I'll type 1 point. I want to rescale it by, let's say 10%. Okay, so 1.1. So you can see it has increased in size. So I'm going to move, highlight, I'll type M and I'll click on enter. You can pick a point. So I'm picking here as a point. So good. Now you can see even at that, it's still not fitting to this because I have made some changes to this. Enter. Good. You can see it's still looking smaller. It's actually not really fitting into this. All right. Okay. So, but then let's say I want to take this out, this line, or I want to trim this line. Okay. There is a tool called explode. I can just use explode to explode this line. Once I explode it, I can either delete this line or I can use another line to just draw. Okay, let me draw a line across here and I will trim it. So let's say I want to take this line down. So you can see I have edited the original, what do you call it? The original sheet title block that this software is actually giving me. And this line, I can as well extend it here and bring it here. Right, let me stream. Okay. All right. Another thing, so you have so many ways you can achieve whatever you want. Let me see if this has a match property. Good, it has match property. I can match this property. I'll select the source, which is this. Okay, MA, enter. Good. So you can see this line and this line now have the same property. So you can match property just like the way you do it in your normal AutoCAD software. So you can do this editing manually this way. Okay. And again, there is another way. You can come to your settings, layers and text. And then in your layers and text, you can change, let's say this axis right now, I have axis line direction 1, axis line direction 2. You can see they have different colors, and then the types of lines, we have different type of line that you can select from. Okay, so you can play around with the kind of line you want the software to actually use for you. Okay, I get a lot of questions from people saying when they print their Protadetail, print their detailed drawings from Protastructure, it does not really come out clear. The thing is, the kind of colors the software will most likely give you by default, sometimes they will not appear clearly when you print out. Okay, so you can as well change those types of colors, or you can change the colors, okay, to try as much as possible that when you are choosing colors, make use of colors that are primary colors, like your red color, blue color, black color. Okay, when you use such kind of colors, it will most likely come out very, very clear. And then you can change the thickness of those lines, most especially when you check your beams. Okay, you're going to see those your beam reinforcement, they don't really come out very thick, they come out very tiny. And then the type of color that it actually gives to you are colors that when you print out your detailed drawing, it does not really come out clear. Okay, so we have 2 minutes remaining for this particular Zoom section to end. So I have to quickly end this in a moment. Any moment from now, I'm going to end this, and then I'm going to send you another link for the part 2 of this. Okay.